Welcome to the Black Men Think podcast. If this is your first time here, know that the views and opinions expressed by the Black Men Think podcast are those of the Black Men Think podcast and not the individual members. With that being said, we're about to be unapologetically, undeniably black. Enjoy.
So look, man, I just got one question. What's your most memorable vacation?
Man, I tell you, I've been on a good number that are like top tier, like some of the best moments I've ever had in my life. But if I had to say the most memorable, I got to go to Hawaii, man. Hawaii. So the honeymoon, right? Like I've said this, period. Like that should be on every person's bucket list.
Hawaii.
And I know it's cliche, like, everybody says go to Hawaii for, your honeymoon or for, your 10-year anniversary or whatever. Just make sure you make it Hawaii. But bro, it's different, man. Like, people go tropical, they go Caribbean. Hawaii just different, man. Like it's got a whole nother vibe to it that's just, I don't even know how to describe it. It's almost like cliche. It's literally that, but it's not a cliche. It's reality. Like when you're there. So my wife and I, we went for our honeymoon. I think we stayed 8 or 9 days, 10 days, somewhere. Like we had a long trip. It might have been like
that's
10
a good
days.
Vacation. That's a good.
But listen, that period. It was a great vacation. Like it was long. And interesting enough, like we went down there with, the idea in mind, like, okay, half this vacation, we're just going to relax. And the other half of this vacation, we're going to explore. Right.
Gotcha.
So we chose the Big Island. And, I don't know, obviously Hawaii has different islands. You got Maui, you got, Kauai, I don't even know how to say those names, but anyway, this is the Big Island. This is the biggest island in the set of islands that Hawaii offers. This island had every climate except for the most extreme hot climate and the most extreme cold climate. Like every single climate that we have, So it's not Antarctica, and then it's not a raging volcano, even though there literally was a live volcano on the island.
While y'all was there? Oh, well, okay.
No, bro.
Yeah, I got you.
We saw all of it. Like,
wow.
All of it. So from, beautiful tropical beaches, black sand beaches, green sand beaches, to forests, to pastures, to waterfalls. We took a helicopter tour. This is the quick snapshot, bro. It was incredible. Yeah. We took a helicopter tour over an active volcano. Literally, the joint is bubbling up. Like, we can see the lava flowing underground and like going down towards the shore, and then you see the steam coming up from the shore, and the helicopter rides over. It's like, yeah, this is where the lava's coming out. Breathtaking, bro. That we hike down the side of this cliff near a shore, and then when you come out on the end, you're on the same black sand beach, and you can kind of see down this, like, almost probably for a mile, just this beautiful black sand coast where they filmed some of Jurassic Park. Like, bro, it's one of them experiences, man, where, like, I know that there are other islands on Hawaii, but I'm almost certain the other islands ain't touching this one, And like, if I'm going back, I almost want to go back to the same one. That's just how amazing it was, man. Not to mention, we took a day trip up to the top of a 17,000 plus foot mountain. Get up there, during sunset. You're over the clouds. You see the sunset, and then they pull out telescopes, and you're like looking at the moon and stars in ways that you've never seen before. It was breathtaking, man. Sorry to flex off the top of the the episode and such, but bro, Hawaii.
No, I mean, I love it. Like, that's one place I definitely want to go that I haven't been, and that, like, on my quest to visit all 50 states. Like, that's something that in my lifetime I want to do. And I'm surprisingly close, bro. Like, now that I think about it, I'm I mean, I'm far off, but I'm not far off. Like I think I'm at 30 right now, something like that. So
okay,
I got to do it again. Something close, maybe like 28 or something like that.
That's impressive. That's impressive.
Yeah, man. I mean, and to be fair, a lot of them are like 1 days. You know what I mean? I haven't got a chance to, it's like with touring and all that. So I didn't, you know, I've been to Oklahoma, but I was in Oklahoma for like, it was a 15-hour drive.
Yeah.
Got there, went to the hotel, changed clothes, ate, performed, back to the hotel, went to sleep, woke up the next morning. So it's like, have I been to Oklahoma? Yes. But like, have I explored Oklahoma? No. You know what I mean? But it's still, it counts. Like I've been, you know what I mean? So I do have quite a few that are like that. But if I say my most memorable vacation, man, I mean, I'll say this last one that I went on is like super memorable. I don't think I ever forget it. However, it's just something about like being out the country, seeing things that I grew up learning about. You know what I mean? Like, so that Europe, that Italy, and seeing Rome and Florence and Pisa, like that is so memorable, bro, because like I can truly connect it to, like, it's all the stuff that we learned growing up. You know what I mean? Like I learned about the Colosseum, I learned about you know the Pantheon, I learned about the Leaning Tower of Pisa, so the David, you know, Michelangelo. So like the fact that I was able to physically see those places that I mean, I got to be honest, as a kid, I never thought I'd be able to see that. I thought, you know, when you're young, you're kind of thinking small. I'm like, oh, that's over there. Like, that's cool, you know, but I'm not really thinking that, yo, I'll go to Rome one day. You know what I mean? And so to be able to kind of accomplish that and check that off, that was so memorable, bro, because it was just that time. And the other cool thing is, for anyone that has ever been out the country, it's so much more freedom because you don't have this. Like you have it,
but you ain't cutting it on.
Yeah, you're not cutting it on. Like
I mean, Roman fees.
I had my phone on airplane mode, bro. Like the only time it came on if I was on Wi-Fi. Like that, and I know that you know there are some people that just do their international plan, cool, but that's not my case. Like nope, you know, it's WhatsApp or FaceTime. And that's it. So if I'm not on Wi-Fi, I'm not using my phone. And so it kind of took me back to that time when we, you know, were kids, where a phone wasn't, you know, bro, if I needed to use the phone, I had to wait till I got home, you know, or using a payphone. And I know I'm dating myself, but I think we forget about the freedom in not being attached to our phone all the time. Because I know I am. I know I'm attached to my phone all the time. And so that was one of the parts that I super enjoyed, just that freedom. I literally was using my phone only for taking pictures. Like that was it. You know what I mean? And so that intentionality of being with my wife, and us just enjoying that time together, like it was so dope. Yeah. But this last trip we took, to me, I felt like was the first vacation that we took where we just didn't care. And what I mean by that is like, normally when we go on vacation, we might hit one nice restaurant, but you know, for the most part, we trying to stay within the budget. Like this last vacation, it was kind of like whatever we wanted to do, we just did. Like we didn't limit ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Gotcha. So it felt like, no, let's just like, okay, all right.
You want that? Let's get it.
I know this seafood is like overpriced, but
so
all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, paid $100 for a meal that, you know, it wasn't the best, but it still was good. You know what I mean? It was just one of those type of trips where it felt like time. This is gonna sound so. I'm just gonna say it because you know what, you know my heart. But it was one of the first vacations where time and money didn't mean anything.
Oh no, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
I understand
and
that.
so that was cool to experience one of those type of vacations where it was just like, no, we'll get there when we get there. Like we don't have an agenda.
You didn't just go on a vacation, you went for experiences, right?
100%.
Like you know, there are vacations, and I mean, you kind of touched on so much. Like there are vacations where you're going somewhere, but you're still tied to your phone, so you're still kind of locked into everything. You really don't disconnect, and I think disconnecting is extremely important just to even have the vacation be like to have a real vacation,
right?
But then to have a vacation where you're not really worried about anything, like you're kind of free braining your options, your decisions. So like for us, what we discovered is, I don't know if y'all have ever had this experience. I'm sure some of our listeners out there may or may not have done this, but all-inclusive resorts, bro. Like if you're going to, you know, Mexico or the DR, Puerto Rico, somewhere like that in the Caribbean, bro, all-inclusive resort.
Yeah, I haven't did that before.
Man, because I'll tell you, man, like, you know, normally when we travel, you know, it's, let's find a hotel that's comfortable, but we're not trying to break the bank at the same time. Somewhere that's a comfortable drive. You know, you get there and then you have to pay for breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day, you know, unless you found some hotel deal where you get breakfast for free or, you know, it's looped into the hotel cost. Yeah. Either way, you end up coming out of the pocket because you don't always you don't want to eat cheap on vacation. You definitely don't want to eat what you can eat at home. Like,
right. Yes.
I don't want to go on vacation.
Please don't do that, people.
I don't want to go on vacation to eat Chick-fil-A. You know, like come on. And I don't want to see a Chipotle. You know, I don't want to see nothing that I see in Atlanta. Exactly. I don't. So when we go on vacation, you know, of course, there's the temptation to want to eat what you want to eat, but you still have to stay within your budget if you're paying for every meal separately. Man, listen, man, all-inclusive resort, you know, and you would think the price is extremely more because all-inclusive is literally all-inclusive. Like all the food is included, all the alcohol is included, all the amenities, everything is included, right?
Right.
But you end up honestly saving money because you're not paying for every single meal. So, you know, the last trip we took, man, we went to DR, we went to Punta Cana. It was my first time in Punta Cana. Beautiful beaches, just a beautiful place, right? All-inclusive resort, man. I mean, people like endless food. Like you go to one, and usually these places have multiple restaurants on the resort. You don't have to leave the resort to eat. You don't have to leave the resort to shop. You don't have to leave to do anything. Bars everywhere, restaurants everywhere. You go sit in a restaurant, they give you a menu. Typically, you go to a restaurant, you're like, no, I'm going to limit it to an entree, you know, get something that has sides to it. I want all of them. give me every entree. Give me every dessert option, and they bring it. And if you want it again, they'll bring it again because you've already paid for it. You know, you go to the bar, you got a drink of choice or whatever. I want to try. They keep it coming, and it's almost like, you know, a cruise in a sense. You know, where you just you got it unlimited, man. But I'm telling you, that's an experience because it just takes your brain off of everything. We're parents. We prepare food, meals. Right. We're always thinking about what to cook. When you can cut it all off.
No decision making.
No decision making.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good. That's good. I like that. I mean, that's something I definitely want to do, and I've considered it. Not so much a cruise, but just the resorts. I definitely want to do that. I guess the thing for me, the flip side of that is like I'm someone that really likes to. Something that my wife and I both like to do is whenever we go somewhere, one of our favorite shows to watch is drive-ins and dives, right? So we'll go to a city and we'll look up and see, hey, where has Guy Fieri been? And we try to check out one of those restaurants. And we also, you know, we'll check out stuff on our own, or if I like know somebody in the area, I always hit them up like, yo, what's a good restaurant to go to? Because we definitely love to like try new restaurants and whatnot.
Y'all are pretty big foodies, right?
Yeah. We like, well, I'll say more me, like wifey is pescatarian, so she's more limited. Like when I'm on vacation, bro, like the restrictions come off. Like I eat whatever I want to eat. That's a rule that I made. When I'm here, I'm basically pescatarian with some occasional chicken. Sure. But when I'm on vacation, I eat whatever I want to eat. Like I don't hold myself back. You know what I'm saying? So I try whatever I want to try. But we'll go to these different places and just kind of get a sense of the food. And so I like street food. Like Trina, she's not really into like the street food, but I have absolutely no problem, bro. I mean, all of this is pre-COVID. Now I'm kind of like, I don't know.
Right.
Pre-COVID, I have absolutely no problem going to a taco stand. I'm cool. Like, I want to, okay, y'all say this dude right here, he got the best tacos. Let's go. Now I'm kind of reluctant, and I'm like, I don't know if you're, I don't know if you said it. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking more because, we live in a COVID world now. So now I'm more so restaurants, but that's the only part that kind of kept me back from doing the all-inclusive stuff because I know I'm kind of bound to just that. But yeah, I definitely want to experience that one day for sure. I definitely want to. Somewhere. I don't know where, but I definitely want to do it.
Yeah. And it's so funny, man. Like, you've been to 30 states. I've been, like, I can say I've been to Hawaii, but Brian never been to New York. Like, to this day. Still, go. Like, I actually, now that I think about it, I've never been above DC. I've never been above DC. I've driven from Atlanta to Chicago, which takes you through Tennessee and Kentucky and Ohio and Indiana, trying to think west. I mean, I've been to Cali. I've been in Seattle's airport. That's about as far as I can say.
It counts. I mean, it counts. Yeah. I mean, I guess you got to touch down and at least grab a meal, bro. So
yeah, you're right. I ate in the airport. I mean, what can I say? And then I've been in Dallas. Well, I've been in Texas. I've been in Dallas, and I've been probably within like an hour drive outside of Dallas. Like you said, I landed, went and performed somewhere, came back, got back on the plane. Type of thing.
It was quick.
It was quick. By the way, it was 109 degrees. I ain't never in my life experienced heat like that. It feels like you walk outside, you're like, it's not that hot, and then 5 seconds later, you feel like your skin is about to fall off. And it's just, and it's not like Georgia. It's not humidity. It's just straight heat, like you're in an oven. Yeah, it's just different. It's just different, man.
See, I'm looking at a map now, right? Just trying to calculate. It's that west that I haven't. So outside of Cali and Washington, that's just about it. So like no Nevada, no Oregon, Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, like haven't been to any of those, but Colorado, Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, Minnesota, Iowa.
Were you using Nebraska, bro?
Yeah, I did a show in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Oh, y'all was moving. Okay.
Yeah. Definitely. Arkansas, Louisiana, Missouri, Illinois. I don't think I've been to Wisconsin. Michigan, Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky, Tennessee. So the whole Southeast I've been in, but then so it's basically New England and like that West Coast that I haven't really tackled, because outside of New York, like I've done the Maryland, the Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and New York, but I haven't done Connecticut. I haven't been to Massachusetts. No, because I haven't been to Boston, Vermont, what's it next to Vermont? Is that New Hampshire,
and
that New
Maine.
England. Haven't touched that New England, and I haven't touched that like that Rocky Mountain area, basically.
Gotcha. Yeah. See, I remember flying over the Rockies. I looked out my plane window, and I literally saw like like the mountaintops coming up over the clouds. Like, it's beautiful. Like I want to see that. I want to see like a Yellowstone, national park type of thing. You know what I want to do? And this is a trip that I know we've even thrown around a few times just in the group chat. But my wife and I are very interested in taking that Buffalo trip. And you think like Buffalo, I mean, what you going to Buffalo for? Whereas like it's an hour from Niagara Falls. I don't even think it's an hour. It's just more like probably a 20 to 30 minute drive.
Yeah, and you got Toronto,
like in Toronto, and so you fly to Buffalo, you rent a car, you make the drive from Buffalo, over the border into Toronto. But on the way, you stop to see Niagara Falls, and then you go enjoy Canada and Toronto. Which would be a first for me. I wonder if the border is going to be open anytime soon, or if it even open up. Actually,
it's open now. It's open now, but the restrictions are. It's just it's tricky. I mean, you basically you can go, but it's kind of like, and I could be wrong, but the last time I checked, I think it's you have to quarantine when you get there.
Okay, gotcha. Which you got to have time to do.
You got to have. That's the thing. Like, you got to have time. So it's not a turnaround, come back. Like, there are some places overseas now that we can travel, go to, and a couple of days and be right back, as long as you test negative, before you get there and before you leave, you're good to go. But I think Canada, and I could be wrong, somebody correct us in the comments and let us know Canada's restrictions for travel right now, and let us yeah, because I think it is, you have to quarantine for a couple of days when you're there, and that because we considered it, and at the time that's what it was like. Oh, you gotta quarantine. And it was like, well, that doesn't make sense for us, because we'll be stuck. You know what I'm saying? Right. So yeah, you got to have the time to travel. So,
bro, one thing I noticed about travel, and especially when we went over to Europe, we've done the Rome, and the Paris, and like I think we went to Rome, Paris, and Barcelona when we went. Bro, Americans eat so unhealthy.
Bro,
I mean,
well, okay, hold on. I want you to finish your point, but also Americans that live in the South.
Okay, that's the key point right there. Because I mean, even our portions.
Yeah.
And I, you know what I'm saying? Because I mean, you would go, like, I go overseas, and I'm looking at my plate like, is this all y'all eat? Like, is this the appetizer?
No,
because I'm from Jordan. Like, I'm an ATL bread guy, bro. Like I need a Waffle House All-Star special, to call it breakfast for breakfast. You know what I'm saying? Like not a croissant and a little side piece of whatever.
Yeah. I mean,
it's a different game.
I love that experience. But yeah, man, when it comes to the South specifically, bro, like, we just eat way too much. Just in general, because what I've noticed is when I go anywhere that's not the South, I come back, like, I feel like I lost weight. And granted, we're doing a lot of walking on vacation, right? So that's one part of it. But the other thing is, like, when I'm on vacation, I eat what I want to eat. So it's kind of like, It's weird that I come back and I haven't really gained a lot of weight, versus when I'm here, it's just like, yo, you can't. It's what's in the food. But one thing I can say for sure, being overseas eating, bro, I ate literally bread and pasta every day, and had no effect on me. And I'm like, how is it that I can go over here, eat bread and pasta all day, every day, and I come over here and I can't even eat a sandwich, and I feel like overly full off of a sandwich over here. And you're right. It's what's in the food, bro. That's a deeper conversation. That, like,
bro, listen, because it make you wonder, like, what is in the food, and you don't know whether or not, like, is it wrong here? Is it right here? Is it wrong there? Right there? Like which is better? I'm gonna go with the lighter. I'm just gonna assume that if you can eat it and you don't even feel it the next day, what in the world are they putting in it over here? But like you said, that's a different conversation.
That's a different conversation, bro. Because it is true. Like, we are putting some different things in our food, and I'll add this to it. I've noticed, because these past couple of years, I took the time to garden more, and so now I'm getting more things out of my garden than we're actually going to the grocery store and getting. And I've noticed that it just tastes different.
It's real.
Different. Yeah, that's what it is. It's real. It took time to grow. It's not like I haven't pushed the growth cycle for it to be here in 6 weeks. Like I had to really let it grow, right? Mm-hmm. Like, so the tomatoes took a while to grow, the peppers took a while to grow, the eggplants took a while to grow. And so I realized that the food that I'm getting out of my garden it's not the same food that I'm getting out of the grocery store. It's not, bro. It's smaller. Number one, it's smaller. Like, so like if I'm a tomato, we know we go and get like just a regular tomato.
Right.
You know, you get tomatoes about like that.
Yeah, baseball.
My tomatoes are about like that. Okay. Right. And
one bite and you're done.
Yeah, that's like me fertilizing and everything, but they're getting us. And I was like, oh, because I'm doing the basics. I'm not pumping them up with, you know what I mean? So
right.
Yeah, man. That's another conversation to have. That's another episode that we could debate. The genetically modified food and things that we put in our body over here, bro. It's scary. It is scary.
And sadly, you know, I like to go on vacation. I do like to indulge, and I like to. I have a sweet tooth. Like I just have a natural born, which probably not natural born, but either way, it's a trained sweet tooth. Mm-hmm. They don't be hitting the way they hit over here, man. Like I went. I mean, seriously, man. Like I've been places, and you get the dessert option. It's almost like they forgot the sugar, you know. But in actuality, it's just. Like
you're not eating sugar over here. You're eating fructose
and that part, man.
Yeah, see, over there you're getting cane sugar, and over here we're getting whatever, anything that ends with I can't remember chemistry. What it ends with, like OUSE, anything like that.
Anything manufactured is what you get.
Yeah. We're eating the manufactured sugar over here, all the refined sugars and. You know, glucose and sucrose and all of that. That's what we're eating over here. Bro, it's when you really get deep and look into food and the things that they're putting in our food and the preservatives and all of that, you realize why it's so hard and why we have like the type of health issues that we have in America versus like, and don't get me wrong, bro, like people have health issues all over the world. But I can almost guarantee 9 times out of 10, if you line up 3 people and 2 people are obese and 1 person is not, I guarantee that person does not live here.
Oh, no question.
Like that's no question. I mean, they either don't live here or their entire family is from somewhere else, right? It's just, it's amazing, man. Like you see it and it's just like, yo, it's like, you know, when you go to it's like when you go to Miami and you just everybody just in shape, like just like, why everybody here in shape? Like everybody, no matter the age group, everybody just seemed like y'all just left the gym.
That's how I felt about Paris, you know. But honestly, with Paris, it's a lot of walking.
I'm gonna say that's how it is in Europe. Like just in general, bro. Like everybody, like everybody in shape, like
right. Thin, you know, walking around like models. And,
you know, everybody seeing here like, what's going on, bro? Like they know that. Oh no, you're from America.
right. Oh yeah, American. Can see you. Yeah, absolutely, man. So big question for you. Mm-hmm. What's the top 5 places on your bucket list
that I want to go visit?
That you got to go? Yeah.
That's a real good question.
Maybe not top 5. No particular order. Just,
no.
You know,
so I'll bucket all of these together and say I want to finish the 50 states. But I'll definitely say Hawaii and Alaska because those are places that I know that it's just not easy to get to, right?
Okay.
So I definitely want to go to those. I want to go to Africa very bad, and
is there a specific part?
Well, so I did 23andMe a couple of years back. So I want to go to Nigeria, and it's weird. I want to go to Nigeria so I can see if somebody looks like me. And that's just, you know what I mean?
I have never heard you say like, or even reference that. But as soon as you said that, bro, I see Nigerian in you. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I've never even noticed that.
Yeah, bro. So that's my family line. It says Nigerian. You know what I mean? So I want to go to Nigeria, specifically just to see if someone, I mean, and that might sound weird, but I want to see if there's somebody that looks like me, right? You know what I mean?
For sure.
Like, so I want to do that. I want to take the trip that COVID killed me, like Barcelona, Paris.
COVID killed a lot of dreams.
That. You know what I'm saying? I want to do. I want to go to Greece. Okay. I want to go to Greece. Very, very much so. Want to go to Greece, and I want to see like Japan. Okay. I just want that. I want that. I want the shock of like not being in my environment, if that makes sense. No, right? Because like everywhere in the world we go, we are there. Like when I say we, I mean Black people. We're there. But in Japan or just Asia in general, I know when I get there, it's like there's no thought. Like they know that I'm not from there. You know what I'm saying? Like
for sure.
I could go to Europe and I could have just so happened to live there. You know what I mean? But if you go to an Asian country, more than likely a Black and brown person, you're just not from there, right? And so I want to put myself in the awkward position of like not knowing the language, no one, you know what I'm saying? Like I just want to experience that, you know what I mean? So, and the other places that I want to go, I probably can't go. You know, I can't go on a homeboy trip. I know we talked about that, so I had to.
Yeah, I already know where you're talking about. That.
Yeah,
so we missed that. We missed that boat.
Yeah, we missed that way. But yeah, truthfully, bro, like I want to see the world, man. Like that's one thing that I really. Here's my real bucket list: all 50 states, and then I want to visit every continent.
Okay.
Like so that's real bucket list of visitation. Like, bro, I want to go to Antarctica and see how cold it is.
I was just about to say, like Antarctica too.
Yeah. All 7, man. Yeah, that's really the bucket list.
I definitely can concur with like you want to see everything. You don't want to leave this earth and felt like you missed something. And granted, whether it matters or not at that moment, we'll find out then, right? But for me, without a shadow of a doubt, and I don't know if I can name them in order, and I don't know if I'll leave anything out, but I'm just gonna try to go off the dome. So Egypt for sure is one of them. I just feel like that is a place that will probably blow my mind. Like if I actually was able to consume, both the pyramids and, the Sphinx and, just the architectural stuff that was there that was in, ages ago. And yet it was so advanced. And then to just see desert like that, I've never really been able to perceive that or really like look at dunes. And, I just kind of want to experience that. I'm gonna stay on the same continent. I have to do an African safari. Like I want to be in the Serengeti, I want to see some lions, and I don't want to talk about the zoo lions. Like I want to see it, I want to be out there, caged. Of course, I need to be in a caged vehicle. I ain't trying to get I'm good. Trust me, I'm good. I ain't trying to get the real experience, but I want to see it. I want to stay in, I just want to be out there, man. I want to feel it. I want to feel the culture, the people. And I probably just wrap the rest of Africa into that second one. I do want to see Alaska. I feel like it's just going to be some breathtaking things. There I definitely want to feel the coldest of the cold. So I want to see Antarctica too. I want to know what that's like. I do want to see like Asia. I think just to experience it, but I think before that, man, I want to honestly, I want to feel like I'm at the most untraceable point I can find somewhere in the middle of some ocean. Oh, like a Bora Bora, or like a Maldives. some Maldives, like some remote island where like I come out of this cabin / bungalow on top of some little wharf or little ocean spot, and all I see is water around me, and maybe a few other homes. I want to feel that. I want to feel that for once, because I just feel like it'll be incredible and beautiful. You've seen pictures where you can just kind of go right off your little patio and jump into the ocean and go snorkeling and come back. Why not?
Man, no, bro, that's it for me, man. Like I tell there's two things, right? That when people talk to me, like, so there's this guy, he has a clothing line called Lords, right? And it's an acronym for living out your ridiculous dreams. And so he'll ask people, what's your ridiculous dream? And so like when he says ridiculous dream, it's something that like it would literally take an act of God for you to accomplish, right? And so for me, it is, I want to own the Atlanta Braves, right? Like that's my ridiculous dream. I want to go in and say like, here's the check. I'm the owner of the Atlanta Braves. I'm over that organization. That's something that I use to push me. Like, so whenever I'm slumping, like, bro, you ain't gonna own the Braves slumping like this. So it's that thing that kind of keeps me going. My ultimate dream or ultimate goal in life is to be able to travel the world, eat fine dishes with my missus. That's something that I came up with a long time ago. It's a corny line, but that's what I want to do.
It works.
Travel the world and eat great with my wife and kids now, because I had this before I had kids, right?
Yeah.
So like that's it. I want to be in a position where time and money is not a factor, and we can go wherever we want to go in the world, and we can eat good when we get there. Like that's the goal, right?
Yeah.
And so with those two things in mind, it's amazing. Like I employ everyone to just take the time to travel, bro. And
period.
The only reason why I say it is because I know people who don't leave the neighborhood, let alone leave the state. I'm talking about they don't leave the neighborhood.
Why do you think that is? I mean, finances obviously sometimes is the excuse, but
bro, yeah, okay. So I don't want to act like finances are not a case, because they are, right? Like some of these places that we named, you got to have money to go to, and it is what it is. Like we can't act like that doesn't count. But also it's a mindset, it's a mentality, because a lot of times we think that we have to struggle, right? We think that this is what my mama did, this is what my grandma did. Like it's just, I just gotta struggle. And it's not the case, bro. Like it's really not the case. I've seen it in my own family where I have family members that won't even come to Atlanta because, oh man, the traffic.
See, I feel like sometimes that, I mean, it might not even just be that. I feel like there's a fear factor in there somehow too. Like I think people are afraid to get away from their comfort zone. And they've made such a bed in this comfortable space. I know this. I know the people around me. They receive me. I receive them. This is my bubble. But there's so much more. There's so much more out there.
Remember the first time, and I'll say it as an adult, because as a kid, you're kind of just going along with mom and dad. So you're not really, you don't compute it really. But that first time as an adult, when you go somewhere on your own, like I'll take it back to a time, and I think this would be great to continue this conversation in our Black Afterthoughts, right? But the time that we went on spring break, right? College, spring break. Those are like some of the first times as a young adult to have that freedom to like go out and like I'm on my own in another place, and I'm able to make decisions and all of those things. Is just like it opens your eyes, right? Because one thing I can say, like my family, we're on vacation every year, but it's different when you go somewhere with your peers. Yeah. And you're able to explore and see different things. And it's just like, man, I don't want to be insensitive, but I just don't understand how you can get locked down and thinking that you can't go anywhere. Like that's hard for me to compute in my brain. You know what I mean? Like I don't really understand the logic behind it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. And the thing is, I mean, we live in a time where everywhere is mostly accessible, you know?
Yeah, true.
And I mean, yes, listen, you do need money to travel. it's a no-brainer. I mean, you do, but here's the reality: it's attainable. You know, like I think a lot of these destinations, sometimes people feel like, oh, I'll never be able to afford that, and they don't even necessarily try, or let alone think, can I afford it? Can I get out of the country? You know, can I actually go overseas or go to another country, go to, you know, vacation on a tropical beach or island somewhere? Can I actually do it? Or is it just like, are we used to, no, I know what I spend to drive down to Destin, Florida, or to, you know, Myrtle Beach, or, you know, go out to Santa Monica or whatever that looks like, wherever you are, you know, New Orleans. I mean, I think at the end of the day, people just have to ask bigger questions and honestly plan. I mean, if
that's the key.
You know, what's so interesting, man, most of these trips don't cost as much as people actually think. Or let me say it like this: they don't realize how close amount of money they spend to what it actually costs to go somewhere overseas, or, you know, just somewhere away.
Yeah.
Versus what they're actually spending on some of these vacations. You know, and I alluded to it earlier. I mean, the amount of money we spend getting a hotel and then paying for every meal, we could go to some tropical island and be at an all-inclusive resort for the same, if not less money, honestly. So I think people just need freedom, man. They need to take a moment and go after whatever. What was the acronym again? What was the
Living Out Your Ridiculous Dream? Shout out to him, man. Lord's Clothing. If y'all want to check him out, it's funny you said what you just said though, bro, because the trip that we just took, we drove the Pacific Coast Highway, but that was a trip that we were supposed to take in 19?
Right before the pandemic.
Right. Well, yeah.
Well,
we were supposed to take that trip in 2019, and in the midst of planning that trip, I was like, "Yo, babe, they got tickets to Rome for the same price."
Just threw Rome in there.
I was just like,
"You like Rome, Georgia? Rome, Georgia?"
I was like, maybe we should just, because we were looking like, you know, round trip tickets. We just started calculating. It was like, yo, like, we can go to Rome for the same price.
We're trying to fly out west.
Like,
we can go across the Atlantic Ocean.
Like, we can go to Rome, like, literally for the same price. It's like, yeah, let's just go to Rome. Like, it was quick to think, but it was just like you said. In my younger years, I would have thought, like, when you said go overseas, bro, I would think like, oh man, that's like thousands of dollars.
Yeah, easily.
And what happened is you get that mentality, that thought process, and you start to believe that's what it costs, and you never look into it.
Right.
You just shut yourself off like, oh no. Bro, you know how long, like, I got my passport at 2018? I think I got my no, when was Jay born? 2017. I got my passport in 2017. First passport ever, right? Now in 2017, I was 33. My daughter got her passport at 3 months.
Wow.
But that's what we call breaking the generational curses and the cycle.
I like that.
How much does a passport cost? Like $200, less than $200. Yeah. And I'm not trying to diminish it. I don't want anybody to think that we're being insensitive. But what I'm saying is, I've had plenty of good jobs. You know what I'm saying? Before 33. And I just didn't make getting my passport a priority because I was like, oh, I don't need it. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, if you don't get the passport, you'll never consider going out the country because you're going to know that I got to get that to go here. You got to start completing steps. Even if you get it at 18 and don't go anywhere until you like 25, you got it early enough to where that's something that's crossed off the list. Like it's not a barrier of entry anymore. I have my passport. I can, when a trip comes up, now I'm prepared to go.
You know what I slept on? What I slept on in my earlier years, bro? Studying abroad.
Bro, I'm trying to get my little sister to do that now, bro. I'm trying to tell her, go and do it. 6 weeks.
Studying abroad, bro. Because, I mean, for one, the experience comes at a point where you're in kind of a critical space of like life decisions, and your exposure to things that you may like, they may go beyond your wildest dreams, what you actually experience, and they may open up your horizons to things that like you never realized, bro. Like I want to be like, let's just say a teacher, right? Or somebody that's in school for education. And they want to be an English teacher. And, you know, they're like, yeah, you know, I just want to be an English teacher in my community and blah, blah, blah. But you don't realize as an English teacher, you can go to any other country and make a ton more money, you know,
right,
doing the same exact thing, but also living a totally different experience. And I mean, it just goes to show, man, we just have to think bigger.
Gotta think bigger, bro. Like that, I mean, that's the theme too, right? Like traveling the world, we gotta think bigger, because you want to know what kept me from not traveling abroad? Man, I gotta make these beats, bro.
Bro,
what?
Same.
Do you know how many artists are like, bro? Like, I mean, and I'm not trying to live in the past, but I'm just saying the mentality of thinking that, you know, I got to make these beats. Like, bro, it's 6 weeks. You could have went over there and found like some artist and worked with for 6 weeks straight.
And worldwide.
It could have been worldwide. Global, bro. Like,
Akon.
That's what I'm saying. But you're thinking that, oh no, man, I got to pop where I'm at. I got to get these beats out. Like, bro, music is universal. It's anywhere you want to go. There, and so it's just like, you know, you have to open your mind and expand and don't really limit yourself, because that's what we're doing at the end of the day. That's all this is limiting ourselves when we could be doing something else to just make us better, bro. Make us better than what we are. So
absolutely.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to look up
get some Black History fact.
Black History fact, man. Let's see what we
got to do it. This is the Black Men Think podcast.
Black Men Think podcast. Let's see if I can find Black History fact. It would have been better if I would have had this up and ready, but I don't, so I'm sorry.
I mean, you know, it's all good. You know, it would be the first. We don't have Corey here to get on to you, so.
I know. Let's see. You know what? This is what I'm gonna put.
What you got?
Because I don't think we talk about this enough, right? And we have it here, right? And so this is not necessarily a fact, but well, I mean, it is a fact, but not necessarily in the tone of what we've done before. And this is, I'm saying this for myself too. Here in Atlanta is where we stay. We have it's called the National Center for Civil and Human Rights.
Great place.
And is located in like the Centennial Olympic area, Centennial Olympic Park. That's it, right?
Yeah.
By the Coca-Cola Museum, the aquarium, all of that. It's a great place to go and just learn about our history, right? And I personally, I have not been there. And it's just like one of those things where it's like, look, it's in your backyard, bro. Like, just go and read up on it. So I don't necessarily have a Black history fact, but what I will say is if we want to learn about some Black history, and if you're in the Atlanta area, you should go down and just take a look at the museum and just get from it what you can. And I'll leave that.
It's definitely a great place to be.
Yeah. So look, man, Black Men Think podcast. We appreciate y'all for sure. Make sure y'all subscribe to our Patreon. If y'all want episodes early, subscribe to our Patreon account. If y'all want bonus episodes, our Black Afterthoughts conversation, subscribe to our Patreon, man. Like, I know y'all been rocking with us. Y'all held us down for a long time. And, you know, people have been asking like, yo, can we get other content, bonus content? So boom, there it is. Patreon. Make sure y'all go there. It's just for you. We have 2 different tiers right now. Y'all go and check it out. Subscribe to whichever one you want to. There's no pressure. Like, subscribe to the one that you want to. And that's it, man. We appreciate y'all for real, like, for rocking with us. Like, I don't think y'all understand how much we really appreciate y'all. So thank you. Other than that, see y'all next week.
Yep.
Yeah.
Black Men Think podcast.